alien blasters, and running around the Mojave. Today, I try to beat Fallout New Vegas bingo. You see, I messaged another YouTuber, TheBrickMaker, and I talked to him and he was interested in the idea, so we came together and made 20 challenges. And we used a random number generator to pick each challenge. So, what we did is the winner, whoever has the quickest time with their challenges, wins. So this is my bingo card, and whoever beats the game with these challenges in their specific card wins. So, let's get into this. I first started by making my character and putting mostly a balanced build so that I'm able to basically balance everything out. For my tag skills, I decided to put points into repair, speech, and guns. And then for my traits, I decided to put in skilled and wild wasteland because the alien blaster would be very useful. Once outside, I hopped my way over to the Prospector Saloon, where I would go and talk to Sunny Smiles and talk to her, and then after speaking to Sunny Smiles, I headed outside where I shot the bottles for her. Then I went over to kill the geckos for Sunny Smiles because I had to become idolized by Goodsprings. So after killing the first set of geckos, I headed up and killed even more geckos, and then after all the geckos were dead, I had to save the Goodsprings settler, because this is the only way you can become idolized in Goodsprings. So after talking to the settler, I became accepted. I spoke to Sunny Smiles, where she told me to grab all of this items for her, and so I grabbed first the Xander root, then the rock flower. Once that was all finished, I headed back to Sunny Smiles, where I just spoke to her, crafted some healing powder, and then I could get the real quest started. So I spoke to Trudy, then I went to go speak with Ringo afterwards to start Ghost Town Gunfight. So when I was speaking with Ringo, after this was all finished, I went back to Sunny Smiles to convince her to help out Goodsprings, of course. So after convincing Sunny Smiles, I went back to Ringo, and we got Ghost Town Gunfight kicked off to hopefully become idolized by Goodsprings. So I just went over to the powder gangers and shot at them. Now they did a lot of damage, but luckily with the 9mm pistol, I was able to take out all of the powder gangers and become idolized by Goodsprings, completing a space on my bingo card. I also leveled up and got repair and speech and put my perk point to Swift Learner. And then I headed my way to Prim. And while we're here, I'm just gonna put a little X mark over our idolized by Goodsprings. So after I became idolized by Goodsprings, I headed over to Prim, killed some powder gangers along the way, then hopped along the road to go towards Oliver Swanwick, my next target. So along the way, I killed some of the convicts outside, just immediately one-tapping all of them pretty easily. I then found the Jackal gang leader who had metal armor, so I needed to get the metal armor from her, so I just shot towards the gang leader and killed the gang members, so I was able to get the metal armor. I then made my way towards Nipton, where more jackals came out, so I had to kill even more, but I got more armor. Then I shot Oliver Swanwick, getting me another space on our bingo board done by around the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to put it up here with the bingo card. After killing Oliver Swanwick, I made my way towards my next area, so I killed some powder gangers along the way because I was going to go towards Hidden Valley. I then leveled up, taking some points into repair and speech, and then I just looted the powder gangers and then headed to Hidden Valley, where I would be able to find the Brotherhood soldiers. Now, I can't wear their armor, of course, but they do have very good laser rifles, which I'm able to use, and is a great weapon. I then tried to kill some super mutants, and, well, that didn't go as well as I thought it would. They were actually very powerful, and my guns did not do that much damage, so I couldn't do the quest at Black Mountain for my bingo card, so I headed towards New Vegas. On the way to New Vegas, at the top of Black Mountain, I found there was just a straightaway to get to New Vegas. So I went into Freeside and just made my way inside and then I killed the Freeside Thug, of course, because he always tries to kill me whenever I come into Freeside. So after killing him, I went to the Atomic Wrangler, where I just traded in some chips and some caps, because I was going to gamble a bit. Because I need money to, of course, get into the strip, but also to buy 8 items like stim packs and that sort of thing, and also armor. So I just gambled here for just a little bit. So after I was done, I just traded in my chips to the cashier, and then I was gonna make my way to the strip to take out Benny. So on the way, I, talked to the Securitron greeter, and then I made my way to the tops. Once inside, I saw Benny getting me 2 level ups, actually. So once the, XP phase was done, I then took the level ups and just dumped them into speech. So I then took Educated as my perk, and then, of course, I dumped more speech into level 5. And then I talked to Swank to do the whole, speech check with him, because I didn't want to get into a massive shootout with the entirety of the tops. So I went and spoke to Yes Man to also grab his quest, because I was going to do it anyway since it's the fastest way to beat the game. So I was going to talk back with Swank, and then I had to go assassinate Benny, and I just one-tapped him with the shotgun, which showed me, hey, maybe the single shotgun is pretty good. So after that level up, I dumped more points into speech and took toughness, and then I spoke with the tribes around the Mojave. First, the White Glove Society, then the Omertas. So I just wanted to get everyone at the strip ready. I then went to go kill Mr. House so I could prepare Yes Man for, taking over the strip. After opening up the terminal, I went into the chamber and I shot Mr. House to death, getting me another level up, which I put the points into speech, getting me a speech level of 97. I then went back to Black Mountain, where I was able to do a lot better here, killing some of the super mutants, but I still was kind of outnumbered, so I just killed some more Nightkin. Then I decided to make my way towards the Nellis Air Force Base to meet the next tribe, I guess, which is the Boomers. So I headed towards the Boomers, and I had to dodge all of these bombs that they were sending at me, which I luckily was able to do pretty easily. So I spoke to Pearl, and just, said, hey, I don't really care about the quest. So I said, nope, I'm out of there. And I just headed to Camp McCarran. See, this is where I got a little tripped up. So Vault 21, I thought meant Vault 22. So I spoke to Thomas Hildren thinking I needed to get that done, even though I needed to get something else done. So I decided to, I'll get that along the way for Vault 21. So I'll just get the jumpsuits later. I then headed towards a place where I would get a very good weapon. I made my way towards the Harowitz farmstead, where I had to clear out some Vipers inside, which was pretty easy, but after clearing out the Vipers, I had to fend off some fiends who were trying to raid me at the barn. So I then headed up the mountain to kill the aliens. You see, the alien captain here has the alien blaster, and with this alien blaster, I'm able to basically one-tap and do a ton of damage to almost every enemy in the game. And even on the aliens, yeah, it worked very well. So I killed the aliens, getting a bunch of tri-beam laser rifles that I could use, and then I just sniped this other alien as he was running away. I then took all of his stuff and made my way towards my next bingo challenge, which was getting to Jacobstown. So I hopped my way up this little ramp or road, and I shot some bighorners because I needed some food. So I made my way to Jacobstown, getting me another bingo challenge on the board. After that's all done, I headed my way and found Vault 11 as I was going towards Helios One, because Helios One is another bingo challenge, of course. So I just speak to the NCR, go inside Helios One, and talk to Fantastic here. So after speaking to Fantastic, I headed to the first terminal where I would reset the mainframe for him. And the first terminal, pretty simple. But the second one, it had a locked, terminal. And I didn't know how to get in. So I had to find out, which I found out you had to actually speak to Ignacio, and he would give you the terminal password. So I spoke to him, and then I went back to that terminal, so I was able to reset that one, allowing me to finally complete this stage of the quest to power up Helios. So after that's all done and good, I went inside the place to power up the full Helios, reactor, right? But there were many turrets, so I tried everything to shoot these things, and luckily I was able to kill a couple, but I had to keep going outside Now, I thought, hey, there's nowhere to heal, but luckily I found a bed, and with that bed, I could just go in, shoot at the turrets, and then go back out, and just heal, and it was pretty easy. So luckily this 10mm pistol just came in clutch, and actually killed all the turrets. So after a couple tries of this, where I had to keep going back and forth to this bed to heal, I luckily was able to kill all of these turrets very easily. And of course, the alien blaster came in clutch because it was two-tapping all the robots inside, which was just very nice. So I made my way through all of the halls of the Helios One control place, and I killed many things, including Mr. Gutsy's, Protectatrons, etc. So I made my way through the facility, and then I got to this one room, right? And there were so many Protectrons in this room for some reason. I don't know why. There was like 5, and this room became a little bit important for one specific reason. You see, after I killed all of the Protectrons in this room, I didn't know where to go. I found this one door that was locked, and I was like, I don't know how to get through, and all that. But the answer was pretty simple. There was a door in the original room, so I was just walking around looking for the door, and I was like, oh, it's just in a corner. I don't know how I didn't see it, but yep, I found the door, and then I repaired the auxiliary generator to the big like mainframe core, and then I powered the full region, finally powering up Helios One, and then I had to wait, and I would power up the observation like booth thing, and I would finally power up Helios One, getting me another spot on the bingo board. At this point, I'm making pretty good progress on the bingo board, so hopefully I would be able to win this challenge. So after that's all done, I make my way outside of Helios One, but of course, I make sure to stop by to complete the quest because I'm not just gonna miss out on a lot of XP. So I just talked to Ignacio, fully completing the quest, getting me a level up, where I put the points into speech and medicine. And also a bit of guns, because it would just help out overall with the challenge. So after I put in my points with my level up, I head my way back to Black Mountain, where I'm able to actually have a good chance to beat the quest. So I make my way up the mountain with the alien blaster, just blasting away. I'm using a lot of ammo, which isn't great, but I am able to take out a lot of the Nightkin and super mutants that are guarding the mountain. So after just using VATS, shooting my way through everything, I'm able to make my way up to the top, where the Nightkin sniper, for some reason, was not using the rocket launcher. I don't know why. It wasn't. The Nightkin was not using the rocket launcher. So I make my way inside to Tabitha's like hut, and I just shoot her. So I'm able to kill her, finally completing that quest, and allowing me to complete that spot on the bingo card. So after the quest is fully done, I make my way outside, where I level up, put more points into medicine and energy weapons, so I'm able to just even out my skills a little bit. I then head to the Gunrunners, where I'm able to speak to the Protectron there, and I buy some armor, and then sell the rest of my old armor. Then I went to the doctor at the medical clinic and bought some stim packs because I was running a bit low. I then went to go meet the rest of the groups that I was supposed to, so I talked to the Brotherhood, and then I just do their whole thing. I go to Elder McNamara, I say, hey man, what do you need done? And so I go to Dobson, and I just shoot him. I could have spoke to him. I didn't. So I went back to Elder McNamara to fully complete that, so I had about everything done that I needed to. But I still needed to do the Vault 21 quest. So I went to Ralph to hopefully buy some Vault suits, and he didn't have anything for sale. So I had to go to Vault 3 to get some Vault suits. And along the way, this was like a war zone against these fiends. Like, there were so many fiends here, it became an actual war zone. Which, of course, I was able to defeat every single fiend. So I just made my way through this area, just killing every fiend, and then I made my way to Vault 3 to look for the Vault suits. So I just did a speech check, and then I walked in, grabbing all of the Vault suits. There were quite, like, a bunch of Vault suits. There were, like, probably I got 10 from that. So I then made my way to Red Rock Canyon to do the final group that I needed for Yes Man. So I just went to Red Rock Canyon, and apparently I didn't even need to speak to Papa Khan. I didn't even know that, but yeah, I didn't. So I just made my way to Vault 11 to finish off the Vault 21 quest. So I just made my way inside, shot all of the mantises and rats, and then I just looked around for some vault suits and found like 20 vault suits in all of these dressers. So I was able to get all of the vault suits necessary to fully complete this quest. So that was very, very lucky. And yeah, after all of that was done, I made my way back to New Vegas, where I just stopped by Yes Man, and I said, hey man, can you go to the Lucky 38? Because I was going to stop by him on my way out of New Vegas. So I went to Sarah, and I just talked to her and said, hey, I'm talking about vault suits. You want vault suits? And she says, yeah, I could use some vault suits. And so, yeah, I just gave all of the vault suits, and yeah, it fully completes the quest. It's unmarked, but yeah, that's the quest done. You just need to give her 30 vault suits. So I just made sure that the quest was done. So after everything was done with that, I can mark off another spot on my bingo board. So I have to go take out Caesar now. So I made my way up towards Cottonwood Cove, which was a dangerous trek. I had to make my way through Camp Searchlight as well, and deal with some ghoul troopers along the way, which weren't too bad, but they did take a lot of shots with my laser rifle. So I then got to Cottonwood Cove, and this is where some trouble began. You see, I never got the Mark of Kaiser when I walked out of the tops, so I was like, I don't know why I can't travel on the log. So I went back to Nipton thinking, hey, can I just talk to Volpez and it'll fix itself? No, it didn't. So I just tried to kill everyone at Cottonwood Cove and quick saved. Yeah, that also did not even work. I went back to the log, and yeah, it didn't let me travel. So I just quick saved and then went back and tried to get the Mark of Kaiser, but unfortunately, it never appeared. So I thought, I think I don't know how to get there. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try one more thing. I went back to Cottonwood Cove after that and just tried it one more time, but I would get vilified this time. So I tried doing that, tried skipping time and everything, but unfortunately, it never allowed me to travel to the fort. So I tried one more thing after that. I was just going to go through the main quest and see if it allowed me to get through the fort. So I decided to go to the Lucky 38 and put Yes Man into Mr. House's computer. So I went into the Lucky 38, and Yes Man just did this little typing onto the computer and put himself into Mr. House's like big Securitron computer. So I then watched the cutscene about the Mark II, which wasted a bunch of time, but I then just spoke to Yes Man, and he told me, you know, hey, can you do all this? I said, hey, I already went to every group. So I then just did all that, and I had the quest to go to the Eldorado substation. But on my way back to Cottonwood Cove, I could actually travel to the fort. So I made my way through the fort, and the alien blaster was amazing. Like, literally one-tapping the Legionnaires, which was amazing, because I could just walk through, that's headshot, walk through, that's headshot, walk through, that's headshot, which was amazing. I could all just walk around, shoot them, walk around, shoot them. So it was all pretty easy. I then got a level up, which I put more points into energy weapons for, you know, my alien blaster to do more damage. And then Caesar's tent, there were so many Praetorian guards hitting me. So I just ran around it and vatsed and ran around it. It was very difficult, but I was able to finally kill Caesar and the rest of his Praetorian guards, allowing me to put Caesar on the bingo board. So, after that's all done, I decided to gear up for the final fight. So, I got some stim packs, medics, basically everything I needed to make my way through the second battle of Hoover Dam. I then made my way over to the Eldorado substation to put in the override chip. Now the override chip is very simple. I just walk in, I just powered the substation. Yeah, the NCR didn't even get mad. I just put in the chip. And then I went to Yes Man, told him everything's good, and then I made my way to the second battle of Hoover Dam. Once I was at Hoover Dam, I just made my way through Hoover Dam. I tried to not waste any time because I was at the home stretch. Now, I don't know why, but I just decided to try and kill all of the Centurions, even though I didn't have to. So, I just shot most of the Centurions, and then I made my way into the office buildings. And once inside, I just shot all of the NCR guards, and I don't know why, but I thought that I would run out of alien blaster rounds, so I decided to pick up all of the hunting shotguns because I thought they would come, like, in use later, but yeah, they didn't. So I just made my way inside, installed the override chip to get Yes Man on the console, and then I made my way outside, where I leveled up and got more points into guns and energy weapons, and I put another point into Shotgun Surgeon because I thought it'd be useful. And so I then blew up the dam, and then shot more NCR, and then I made my way outside towards the Legates camp. Now the Legates camp is going to be the home stretch here, because all I have to do is make my way inside and talk to the Legate since I have speech 100. So I just run. I make my way through the Legates camp as fast as I can. And here it is. I speak to the Legate. I tell him, hey man, chill out. He says, you know what? I think I will. So he agrees, you know, I'm talking to him. I then make my way outside where I speak to Oliver. Now Oliver, yeah, I was trying my hardest for some reason to not kill him, like, or get into a gunfight because I thought I would die. But I just talked to him, and then I was able to do the whole speech check with him since I have speech 100. After this, I then throw General Lee Oliver off of the dam. But unfortunately, I did not beat it because I got glitched here, so I had to do the entire Legates camp again. So I just do it again. It was not that difficult, basically just the same thing. So I run through it, finally completing it. Also completing the bingo challenge here. And I had a final time of about 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So after this, I went to compare my time with the Brickmaker. So when comparing my time, we first talked about our lists. So his list was pretty similar to mine, but with a few key differences. And then when it came to comparing time, drum roll, I won, but only by 3 minutes. So it was really close. And I just want to say, you know, GG to him. It was a very fun challenge, and I'm glad to have done it. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So peace.